You'll also be hearing from my lawyers. I told you not to call me the hot dog man. You didn't listen. Nobody's listened. Nobody's going to listen.
You have no power here.
Hello, friends. Trace amounts of science. I've been being harassed by a patron who is known as the hot dog man. If you've missed the previous stories, those links are in the description, I am sure. I wasn't as quick to hop all over this one, because I don't know, man. I'll be honest, it's kind of wearing on my soul a little bit. I did get a $50 payment from him this month. I've been reaching out to try and coordinate our schedules, being on the other side of the world and whatnot. And at this point, he's refusing to take the phone call that he demands in every single post, probably to keep up this victim narrative of his. Everywhere else in his life, his ego is absolutely out of control. But on this specific thing, yeah, he wants to pretend. Despite the endless delusions, I will attempt to engage in at least some form of verbal combat. I'm well aware that my opponent will be fighting essentially unarmed, but I don't know how much easier I can take it than I did in the first video. He's shown himself to be disgusting and delusional time and time again. It just keeps coming back. He came back so much, in fact, that I actually had to make some merch of him over on my Fourth Wall store. Wow. Business in front, hot dog in bag. You know what I'm talking about. You should go over there. You should get one. The embroidered ones are particularly nice, yes. You get something out of it, I get a little bit of money, hot dog man gets mad. It's wonderful. This is what they're talking about when they say that everybody wins. So with that shameless plug out of the way, I guess we should get into the meat of the post. I'll address the allegations that have been made, and I'm sure they're very numerous. Let's see. The battle have begun. B-A-T-T-E-L. Battle. You will beg for mercy. Yeah, but please stop. I don't know what I could possibly do with this completely monetizable content. Oh, I've got an idea. We'll make it into a video, and then people will watch it, and then bing, bang, boom, grift completed. You're my greatest enabler, RodGod. Oh no, it looks like the campaign to demonetize one of your videos has finally found some results. I probably shouldn't have informed the Discord and also Twitter that it happened. But honestly, I was excited for you, man. I was like, look at you out here, actually making moves. That's more than the hate bandwagon on the incel forums ever got done. Proud of you, in some capacity. That's what happens when you come for a king. Bro, nobody even knows who you are.
Who the is this guy?
Outside of these videos, maybe some people that come into your shop. Maybe people you visit in church on Sunday. But none of them know the real you like I do, hot dog man. We've sat here, done our thing, had our back and forths. Everything's laid out on the table at this point. I remain completely unafraid and completely unaffected. This is just a start, Brad. I've reached out to other OPs you've harassed with your bully mob, and we're gonna tear you down. Who you got, Party Demon, Has-Been Beard? Maybe that laziest leg-beard roommate OP. I don't know if they were sour about it. Really, it doesn't matter, because I'd rather be nice than mean to OP. I go into every story I read with an open mind and open heart. It's up to you to shape the world to which I am forced to react. You know what I mean? The OPs that I'm friends with are big brain. They know how to put a sentence together, at the very least. What are you gonna do with your little brainlet mob? Nothing. Stay mad. A grifter has no place in my kingdom. I've done no grifting. Will you give me a phone call now? I have sent you multiple messages on Patreon. I've reached out to your email. I don't know if you just don't check those things, but I have been trying to set it up. I recently set up a Calendly, so $50 members can tell me which day and time works the best for them. Could this all just be a giant misunderstanding? I suppose that is possible. But I also suppose that you have a number of sins to account for before we can really sit down and have any sort of civil conversation. I am such an easy person to get along with if you're just like a decent human being. You don't attack or hurt others. I can't possibly set the bar any lower, is what I'm telling you.
This could all go away with a phone call, but you refuse to give me my God-promised Patreon rewards.
That's right. The Lord of Patreon bequeath upon to me one phone call with an irreverent YouTuber.
I'm not being unreasonable. All you had to do was give me my phone call. This wouldn't have happened. I just wanted to talk to my favorite YouTuber and make your life better. But you decided you'd rather fight me, bully me, harass me, grift me. It's amazing what can be done with a little financial incentive.
I don't know what the hell the last part of that means, financial incentive. Maybe he's talking about all the private investigators that supposedly took him for 15 racks last month. But I can almost agree with the first part. I don't think the request for a phone call that you have now paid for is an unreasonable one. I am doing my best to work this out with you, find a time that works for both of us. But even if the phone call went absolutely swimmingly, that wasn't the genesis of all this. If you recall, Mr. Gaslighter, you were originally in the $20 tier, and you wanted me to read the story like this and that, and in the way that you wanted, which that's not what I do. It's a legitimate first reaction to the thing that I'm reading/seeing, and you presented yourself terribly. I respect you enough as a human being to tell you that fact. And as a human being, you can either take that criticism on board or discard it, but spinning out of control, upping the Patreon tier just so you can yell at me about it for an hour, because that's probably exactly what's going to happen. That's not normal human behavior. That's what I'm saying. I've done no fighting, bullying, or harassing. I have reacted to the thing that was presented to me. And I mean, you joined up on the Patreon. You obviously enjoyed something that I did enough to provide a financial incentive. So part of me thinks that you should have known sort of what to expect. But I guess I can't be surprised. People miss the point all the time. That includes me. Proverbs 6:30 to 31. Wow. We're getting some biblical quotes. That's nice. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. So I'm supposed to be the thief in this one? Well, you're about the hungriest motherfucker that I ever did meet. I do think you may have missed the point a little bit. This is like, the balance between empathy and passion for justice, right? Like, hey, I understand that you had to do that stuff to feed your imported wife. And by stuff, I mean microwaving dice specifically. But now, I think it's up to you to restore sevenfold. That's right. You owe those kids 7 sets of new dice. So it be decreed from the Patreon elder gods.
You shall pay back sevenfold, Brad!
No, wait, you're supposed to do that.
Now I demand 7 phone calls!
Yeah, we can make that happen over the course of 7 months. That's how this whole thing works. Otherwise, you're stealing my time, and you'll have to pay me even more. What about the time it took to make these videos? What about Elijah's paycheck, huh? I think all of us out here need to be reimbursed at least 7 times. So, I don't know, I'm waiting on your $350, or $700, I guess, since my editor's time was wasted as well. You got that kind of money, right? That should just be a drop in the bucket for you. Hit me up, we can set things right now for a paltry 3 figures. You're really gonna let that come between us?
I will tear your YouTube bully circus down!
I think you're missing the point of the content completely. It's not to make people feel bad about themselves, it's to make people do better with themselves, It's the mindset that we go after, but I guess maybe that is too deep for you.
You clown! You gave me my phone call!
Not gonna happen, Buster. Honk honk. And by that I mean specifically it won't happen if you don't go to that Calendly link and pick a date and time that you would like your phone call.
How dare you take from me and other patrons just for your own greed?
It's not like I forced them. I'm not twisting anybody's arm. I make content consistently, for free, with ads. Some people choose to go above and beyond that, and to those people I'm eternally grateful. Now, I could be one of those self-flagellating fucks that's just like, my time's not worth any money. I don't deserve to get paid. Screw that. Money makes the world go around, and I want some of it. Does that make me greedy? I don't think so. I live a comfortable life. I help out my friends from time to time. A greedy man could not possibly give as much as I do. Anyway.
A greedy man has no place in the kingdom of God.
Yeah, I agree. Since we're on a religious bent, isn't there something you'd like to say about a camel through the eye of a needle? And yet, despite all these protestations, you go to such great lengths to maintain the lifestyle that you and your perfectly happy and definitely not imprisoned wife are used to. Lying, cheating, stealing, these are all sins. And I know he doesn't call it cheating because his wife reluctantly agreed to let him plow that leg beard one time. But as far as I'm concerned, you're violating the sanctity of marriage. And I know a lot of people go on and say, oh, that's old-timey. There's no sanctity left. Divorce rate of 50%. I don't care. I don't need anybody else to sign off on my beliefs. I like old-timey. But I digress.
You shall burn for your sins, sinner. Brad's a sinner and shall be seen as such.
I mean, the sins that I've committed from my past, I think most people on the channel know. You could certainly try and dredge up things from the past, which it seems you've failed to do so far. But unfortunately, bad news for you, in the present, I ain't doing too much sinning.
I know by now there'll be plenty of people who call me weird. I've seen the comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Weird is really putting it lightly, if I'm honest, but we'll start there.
You're all being investigated.
See, that's why people call you weird.
Weird, buddy. You're weird.
My private eyes are set across the internet, actively finding you. You hear me, Steven from Colorado?
Steven from Colorado?
I know where you are. Expect documents from my lawyer.
He's going after fellow Patreon members or people who are supporting in the YouTube comments? If anybody, Steven from Colorado, if you get documents, please let me know. DM me on Discord or Twitter or, I don't know, I guess the email on the About page for this channel. Is he just making things up? Is there a Steven? I'm not even sure. Here, we got another Bible quote. Matthew 6:19-20. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. There are thieves in heaven? They're just thieves that don't steal things anymore? That's all I got out of that. Do you feel like you're laying yourself up for the treasures in heaven? Do you think that you might possibly have some sins to account for here on earth? All of us do. But whereas I've addressed mine quite publicly, you seem loath to do the same. Truth be told, it's not up to me to judge. You can have this conversation privately with the deity of your choosing. But when you go to meet Anubis and he puts your heart on the scale next to that feather, you might be singing a different tune. I recycled that joke from the Boogie video yesterday. It's fine.
And you who steal, so Brad, will find yourself inheriting nothing but dust and rust.
Dust and rust is the natural state of the world. I'm a big fan of entropy. So, joke's on you, I guess.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit.
All that which you have built will crumble around you. I know, it's my YouTube empire.
We're gonna be fine.
For you care nothing but your YouTube.
I care nothing except for my YouTube? I'll be honest with you that it is a rather large part of my life. Yes, it's the thing that provides for my family and I don't pay it no attention, but it's also been a relatively recent development. How long have I been doing it? 4 years? I'd say that's a pretty good run anyway. I achieved the thing that I set out to do, and now I go back to copywriting or whatever the hell.
You're just pleasing the jackals that are your bully audience.
There are probably some bullies. They missed the point a little bit. But overall, despite the gruff exterior, I think most people out there listening to these stories want better for themselves and others. That even includes you, Mr. Hot Dog Man. All you need to do is repent and change your ways. And we could totally be friends or whatever.
You have caused me irreversible mental anguish.
Yeah, ditto. Do you know what it's like to see this up on the subreddit? The first couple I was in deep anticipation for. I'm like, I can't wait. Another Hot Dog Man video. As soon as it come out, I jump on it. But now, I just feel different. I let it sit on the subreddit for 3 days. I'm like, I know I gotta do this at some point. God damn it. Oh wait, I probably shouldn't say that. Are you offended by that? Some people are, but it's kind of integral to my vocabulary, you see.
I post the best stories you've ever seen on your subreddit. Great stories for free. Not free. I pay you for the privilege of reading my story. Every month, you get payment from me on Patreons. Why do you bully me?
Because, listen, little guy, your stories aren't as good as you think they are. You paint yourself as a bit of a jackass. And if I were to gas you up about a poorly written story, granted it might make your ego feel good, but the audience is gonna know that something was off there, right? They might just shrug and be like, well, that's the most boring ReddX video that I've watched in a while. I'm not gonna click on it when it comes back up again. But the truth is, I did you a favor, making your stories more enjoyable, more palatable. Now, instead of sitting at like 1,000 or 2,000 views, we're pushing 4, 5, 6K, which for this channel at this point in time is pretty damn good. I appreciate the Patreon money. I don't just say that, okay? But being appreciative and bending to your every will and whim are two very different things. And I don't think that you fully comprehended that.
Why do you mock my stories? I'm a generous king. No, to you, I am a god.
See, things like that. That's why they think you're weird. That's why they want to see your story mocked. And at this point, you're out here calling yourself God. God, as I know him, is a jealous God. And so, ergo, one might believe that God wants me to mock you. It was a command sent down from the Most High. I must.
Without my donations, you would starve.
Yes, my whole family survives on this $50 a month. Thank goodness.
You will give me my phone call, or I will continue to find your audience. People like Jacob from Indiana.
God, Jacob from Indiana, are you okay? We haven't heard from him in a while. I don't know who that is.
You'll also be hearing from my lawyers. I told you not to call me the Hot Dog Man. You didn't listen.
Nobody's listened. Nobody's going to listen.
You have no power here.
If you do want to buy some power around here, become Mr. Big Nuts, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, I'll be honest. If your personality improves, maybe we could bring the price down, but I don't see your personality improving. We are entrenched at this point.
None of you listened! You insisted on calling me the Hot Dog Man!
It's basically, it is your name at this point.
I've been advised by legal people to not list the full names of people who will receive documents from me, but they are in the mail!
Legal people, huh? Not actual lawyers? Could be a paralegal. We don't know who these legal people are.
Your harassment will not go unpunished. You all think I was a joke, but I am a god.
It's like very Elliot Rodger vibes, isn't it? Who would actually say things like this and be serious? An insane person, I guess.
I will come for your precious YouTubers' money, and you will be complicit. I asked you not to support Brad's bullying. Now you will understand the wrath of a god.
That's right. papers in the mail, a yellow demonetization symbol. Oh, fear me! I wonder what the third plague is gonna be. I know it's probably a hard thing to conceptualize for you, but believe me when I say that the money, it doesn't really matter. I've got like a certain number that I need to get to each month, and we hit it consistently. No matter what happens with the YouTube channel, I will continue to hit it consistently. And that's because I have a skill set that's more diverse than running a game shop into the ground or changing my grandfather's colostomy bag. Even outside of the YouTube thing, there's copywriting, there's programming. This is the sort of magic that happens when you maintain a curious mind. And I do think maybe Hot Dog Man has a curious mind, but not in the good way. Like it's a medical oddity. Anywho, another Bible quote. I noticed that you moved into the New Testament once you started calling yourself a god, which I think is wise. Old Testament God, you don't want to mess with that guy. Mark 7:21-22. For from within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. I think probably there's something that's supposed to come after that, but okay. We'll take this half a sentence and try to prove a point with it. Great.
You have a dark, evil heart, Brad. Oh, how dark your heart is, Brad.
This is from the cigarettes. That's fine. I did that.
We were able to dig up some interesting information on you. You have been a very bad boy out there, committing so many crimes.
Victimless crimes.
I don't think you've been completely honest about your past, Brad. I know they would never make it onto your subreddit, but your Discord will see the documents. Don't worry.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I haven't been in trouble with the law for many years. You want to tell everybody that they snatched me up into juvie for skipping school too much? That's fine. They probably assume that. Oh, how about that time I got caught with an open bottle of wine in my car? Then there's the big theft from the Navy thing that everybody knows about anyways. I don't know. I don't know what you could possibly be talking about. So please, drop the documents. I'd be happy to address these allegations. Probably nothing will come of them, though. Continuing on.
You seem to hate Boogie a lot, Red.
Who doesn't?
Is it because you've done worse in your life?
Worse than scam meme coin and faking cancer? No. I can say with conviction, no, I don't think I've done worse than that.
I told you not to make these cringe type of videos.
See, first it's the body cams and the King of the Hill thing. Now he's like, you can't talk about Boogie anymore. Eat dirt, son. I gotta go where the numbers are, kid. You don't get to drive the ship.
At any moment, I could have your Discord flooded with your court records, Brad. If you continue to make cringe videos that aren't Neckbeard stories, I'm going to have to release them.
Do it. I'd like to be reminded of some of these past things that I'd forgotten. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember I did break into my elementary school to smoke weed on the roof. It'd be like a little trip down memory lane.
I am your god now, Brad!
No gods, no masters, Hot Dog Man.
I do like Sky Deity, but more along the lines of like a good buddy, you know?
You will bow to me!
Nope.
These documents will bury you, and your credibility.
Like I said, let me see what you got. I'm sitting here waiting. Show me what your 15K bought. I know if he does it, I'm just going to be severely disappointed. It's an inevitability that he paid people to stalk the wrong Brad Damon. Probably ain't too many of those in the Philippines. I don't know how you fucked that one up.
Surely your audience wouldn't approve of some of the things you've said in the past. Unforgivable things.
Oh, you have court records of that, do you? Is that what's in the documents? The things that I've said? This is just a notepad file with the N-word written in it 50 times.
Oh, how your audience will leave you.
If they haven't left me for that joke I just said, then I think they're in it for the long haul.
How does it feel to know a god holds your fate in his hands?
I feel nothing. I'll tell you again, fucking do something. Show me that you can do something. Aside from demonetizing one video, where I might have been a little heavy on the gas, okay. I'm trying to take a more gentle approach with this one. Surely it'll be okay for YouTube's terms and conditions. No community guidelines violations here.
You make the good videos again, or I will release the documents. I will do it.
It's just a notepad file with the F word written in it 50 times. Emphatically, I say again, you have nothing, you will do nothing. You are nothing.
I've paid several people to occupy your Discord. You'll not find all of them. And when no one is looking, the documents will drop. How does it feel to be the one being bullied?
Yeah, you deal like that like you do with most bullying, right? Let it roll off your back. Go ahead, show me what you got. I don't care. I'm old and I'm tired. And both of those things help me stumble into the truth of life, that things are a lot happier when you just really don't give a shit. Go with the flow.
All you had to do was read my stories right and give me my phone call.
See, now we're compounding things. These are two separate events that you're talking about. First, I didn't read the story right for $20. Now I'm being actively avoided for this phone call for $50. So you've given me $70, probably quite a bit more than that in AdSense off the videos. And for that, indeed, I thank you, but again, I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. These interactions are out of the goodness of my heart. I said I'd stop reading these when it stopped being fun, and it's quickly approaching that point. Anyway, here's another Bible quote from Exodus. Wow, 2017. We're going back to the Old Testament. Hot Dog Man's about to get smoked.
You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor.
I don't think I've really coveted anything of yours. You told me you had a pool one time, and I was like, hey, cool, I want to get a pool someday too. That's about the closest that we've come. I'm not going to kill you and move into your house and use your pool. That would be crazy. I'm going to hire people to do it. And then my spies can fight your spies, and they'll be like spy versus spy. Whatever. Please elucidate what I've been coveting.
Do you hate me because my wife is obedient? Or maybe money?
I've said before, the money doesn't really matter. My wife is as obedient as she needs to be while still being her own human being, and I think that's wonderful. She goes out, she does things. Occasionally I will do them with her, but overall, we understand each other to the point that we've reached somewhat of an equilibrium in our relationship. This is what an adult relationship's supposed to look like. It's not one tyrant ruling over the roost. It's a partnership. I don't expect you to really understand that because I'm pretty sure that you don't even see her as like a human being. You're just like, yeah, imported her. I'm gonna upgrade to a new model next year. It's really gross.
You break one of the 10 commandments so easily. Sinner, grifter.
What, the coveting thing? That's a commandment? Okay. I think everybody will back me up on this. I'm a certified wife guy. I only have eyes for her.
Maybe you need to come back to the States, and I'll show you where to find the good women.
Yeah, come back to the States so I can show you how to import a woman from Mexico. I think I'm good, bro. I found the one for me. Apparently your search has not ended. And nor will it ever if you don't change your ways.
Jealous of my wife who lets me do what I please?
I mean, this might shock you, but I am doing exactly as I please right now.
Your wife has you speaking her language.
Yeah, God forbid.
Hateful man, so willing to give up your American heritage to speak nonsense words.
You might not know this, but millions of people actually speak this language.
It's not nonsense words. The words mean something to people who speak the language. It's a wild concept, I know.
You are jealous of me and the wife I own.
Yeah, I own a wife, a couple kids. What else could I want in life? Look at all of these humans that I own. Jesus.
You covet my life because I'm rich and you are not.
Said it many times before, I'll say it again. Rich people are fucking weird. I don't ever really want to be one of them. As long as I can make it, live comfy cozy, what else could I really ask for? Honestly. Also, there is a big part of me that doubts that you're rich at all. How often do rich people say how rich they are?
Maybe I'll take a trip to your corner of the world and show you how it's done.
No, please. I assure you in the Philippines we have plenty of expat inhumane weirdos already. We've met our quota. Unless you're willing to respect the people and the culture, stay the fuck out.
Have you seen the men I've hired to keep tabs on you? Probably not.
Yeah, because they don't exist.
Maybe your dog's been barking a little more often. The dog knows, Brad. But I'm sure you do not notice them. You're too busy being online, looking for the next person to bully.
You know what's really cool about this house that we bought? It has a CCTV camera system. I can see absolutely everything from the comfort of my own bedroom. We put one of our big dogs out there right in front of the gate. He don't like men none too much. He was barking like a little bit more than usual last week, that's true. But there was a funeral that took place a little bit further up the hill, so as far as I could tell, every time I looked over at the TV, it was people that were going to or coming from that. As for how much time I spend online, yeah, it's pretty lit.
A man should be able to protect his family. You don't got the damn sense to even protect your revenue. Instead, you antagonize a source of revenue and mock my amazing stories. What sort of man are you, Brad?
A man who knows how to make some scratch, not sell his dignity, and have a little fun doing all of it, you know? I would love for you to show up. Plane ticket, relatively cheap, especially this time of year. And once you arrive, you will find out how capable I am of protecting my family. I know people in the Eagles, got a couple brothers who are cops. I'm just saying, if you do want to take it that far, they might find you in a river somewhere. Another Bible quote, Old Testament, Deuteronomy 18:9-12.
Oh yeah, getting a whole paragraph in here. All right, let's go. When you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not learn to follow the abominable practices of these nations.
Oh man, you talk about like speaking Tagalog, trying out a little bit of dog meat, right? Let me assure you that I've not given up my sense of self at all. My kids are American as shit, dude.
There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or daughter as an offering, anyone who practices divination or tells fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer or a charmer or a medium, or a necromancer or one who inquires of the dead, for whoever does these things is an abomination to the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord your God is driving them out before you.
Probably really pisses you off that I read tarot cards to make money for a little while, doesn't it? Is that something you found out through your super legit investigations? Okay, you caught me. I was cold reading people and telling them what they wanted to hear. At least I got to eat. This is where you should have put in that quote from Proverbs about the thief who steals when he is hungry. And it wasn't even stealing. They gave me the money. Again, everybody walked away happy, except for Hot Dog Man. I don't know what that guy's fucking problem is. So yeah, cool, great quote. Tell me more about the abominations, would you?
And how dare you do a fake seance stream?
Oh, communes with the dead, that's true. We necromantized him, and now he's walking the earth once more. Why is it that you hate me, hot dog man? Do you not hope to one day wield powers of this sort?
How dare you fake your dead friend's voice? Do you think I'm stupid enough to not know that is obvious AI? Sounded like a robot, 1,000%!
Yeah, that's a lot more than 100. I'm pretty sure his connection or microphone was just not very good. But you have to believe me when I say that Ramtide is walking the earth once more. And he's a zombie, not a robot. Let's get it right.
All of that to try and cover your ass. You know damn well what happened to Ram Tidings.
I mean, yeah, he froze to death in his truck. I abandoned him in his hour of need, and so I committed a bit of necromancy in order to set things right. No court in the land would convict me. Mostly because we don't hold witch trials no more.
I can't believe you'd pull that kind of stunt. You must be terrified at what would have happened once your audience knew Ram Tiding was dead to pull a stunt like that.
Wasn't even that hard, honestly. That's where my super programming skills come into play, you see? Oops, I mean, no, we used the Ouija board, damn it.
Using a dead man's voice without his permission? How dare you? Can't you admit your friend is dead?
He was dead. He's back now. Everything's fine and fixed and normal. Try to keep up.
Too scared to own up to your sins. No, instead you hold a seance in defiance of the Almighty God.
I mean, if he really didn't want it to happen, he could have stopped it. Personally, I like to believe that he has a sense of humor about this type of shit.
Then you fake a connection to the afterlife, making fun of trans people like Chris Chan.
I don't know if Chris Chan's the best representative of trans people, but okay.
You grandstand in your video about me, accusing you of transphobia by naming two people, and then you turn around and let that lesbian make fun of Christian!
I think Christian would be really excited about that. I did open it up to you. I was like, hey, what do you want the next stream to be about, hot dog man? Again, no answers. All he does is post on Reddit, get his account banned, and so I can't even PM him on there. Just please shut the fuck up and set up the goddamn phone call, would you? I've had just about enough.
You think I don't know who Arif is?
Arif with a PH. PH fat. That stands for Ethan Ralph is pretty hateable.
I know who's on your stream. They're a lesbian.
Ace femboy, if we really need to get down to specifics. But none of that really matters to me one way or the other because we connect inside of our mental mind, you know? He's an interesting person with interesting things to say. And yes, I did say he. And if your next scrawling doesn't have at least 5 paragraphs of screeching about pronouns, I'll be sorely disappointed.
I know that Arif is actually a trans woman. And if they date women, that makes them a lesbian.
Yeah, how did you find all that out? Oh, that's right, the private eyes.
That's right. I just outed your co-host's actual gender, you puke.
Yeah, you really nailed me to the wall. I don't know how I'm ever gonna live this one down. You seem really stuck on this. Do you have a crush on Arif? You can just come out and say it if you do. No judgment here, dude.
It's so mean of you to make a trans woman come on your streams and then have them pretend to be a different gender.
Yeah, that was a really terrible thing that I allegedly did. It's like, you're not even living in reality at a certain point. I'm not going to dignify these things with a response. If you're in there watching the live streams and seething, why not say a little something? Why not ask Arif themselves how they identify?
You have to admit it on the next stream, Arif. It's already out there. Tell the people how Brad forces you to pretend to be a man.
I'd like you to come and ask him yourself. I know you're not going to. I seen you leaving a couple comments, but overall, yes, the hot dog man is a scared little weenie.
Brad is actually transphobic. He doesn't want trans people on his streams, so he forces you to play pretend. Well, the cat's out of the Brad.
Yeah, it was hell having that cat inside me.
You think you can hide from these crimes, but you cannot.
You'll never catch me. You'll never be able to prove it. But I'm really enjoying watching you try.
I wouldn't have told everybody about Arif, but you refused to stop using AI in your thumbnails and use them to impersonate a dead man. I had no choice.
Yes, and the reveal of this completely incorrect information has changed things irreparably for me, so thanks for that. Darn my actions. If only I could take it all back, I'd do the same thing again.
I told you there'd be consequences if there was not a phone call made to me on Skype. The reward tier says Skype, Brad. I will not join your bully Discord for your gawking fans.
You really don't have to. I have a Discord username. You can reach out to me without being in the server. If Skype truly is more convenient for you, then okay, I'll request a password reset or whatever I gotta do. But please, for God's sake, pick a fucking time. Let's get it over with.
I have given more than 2 weeks for my demands to be met. I've been a very generous god. I will continue to release information against your cohorts.
That's right. What delusional lie will he levy and at whom next?
Stay tuned and find out. I will continue to tear you down. I intend to have my people start flagging any non-neckbeard content next. More videos will fall, or you will give me my phone call. The choice is yours.
Yeah, flag whatever you want. I've done my best to try and facilitate the phone call. And that was still long before you started threatening people with yellow dollar signs. I'm not scared of threats, I truly don't care, but I do want to get you what you paid for. So work with me, please.
I am the viewer. I am your god.
See, the neat thing about it is, like, the viewer is more of a collective term. There's nobody who stands up as the representative for all of the viewers. There are some people who are more vocal. There are other people who have watched the content for years and never said a word to me. And again, I do appreciate them all, but I will not be bending over backwards. Ever. Never, ever.
You will follow my instructions. I'm tired of your obstinance.
Yep, don't forget my irreverence.
That's part of the branding.
Now you will give me my phone call, I'm sure. You've run from your benevolent god too long.
I say it one more time, you never catch me.
I will teach you how to properly run your channel.
Jesus, that sounds like a nightmare.
You can start by reading my stories correctly. No more mocking me. No more stupid voice for me. You read it normal.
But I don't wanna. It's better this way, trust me, okay? You might not recognize YouTube and voice acting as an art, but it is. You have to get into the skin of the person who's writing this within only a paragraph or two. And I think I've done that gloriously. Do you not talk like that in real life? I guess I'll find out on the Skype call, huh? And then, hopefully, if you have any actual balls, everybody else will find out as well when the voice recording drops. Because that is the plan. I know you told me not to, but the more you tell me not to, the more it makes me kind of want to do it.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.
I don't know how the laws work wherever the hell you are, but hopefully you live in a one-party consent state, so I could just record things at my leisure. If you live in a two-party consent state, then okay, maybe we anonymize it or something like that.
You will obey me, or it's all gonna come crashing down on your head.
Don't worry, bro, I'm thick as a brick. They never gonna get me.
You think I'll stop at the demonetization of one video? I'll tear it all down, Brad. You are the one who has decided this is war.
Yes, war. Truly the height of combat. A bunch of super cool online ops. Hey, go lurk in that guy's Discord until you're activated with your MK Ultra. You're off your rocker.
I gave you my demands, and you didn't listen. Why didn't you listen?
I have a problem with listening. Any sort of authority, any at all. I just want to stick my middle finger in their face. I will become ungovernable. I will not comply. What's my favorite skateboard move? No comply.
I expect an apology in the next fucking video. You fucking grifter. You con man.
Wow, I can tell that this has really gotten you down, hasn't it? Unfortunately, I'm not going to apologize for anything because I've delivered everything that I was required to deliver. $20 tier is you get to pick a video topic. It says nothing about how I cover it. And at this point, there's been like 4 or 5 videos. So at $20 each, you owe me between $80 and $100. Thank you very much for the 70 you've given me so far, but you still owe me about 10 to 30. We'll split the difference and call it 15. How about that? Let's shake on it. No, don't actually touch me. We got another Bible verse, New Testament this time. 2 Timothy 3:13. Unscrupulous con men will continue to exploit the faith. They're as deceived as the people they lead astray. As long as they are out there, things can only get worse. Yeah, if only you knew how bad it really was, right?
Do not let Brad lead you away from the word of God. Not me, but the one true almighty God.
Yeah, I could see how there would be some confusion.
Brad is a sinner and fills your heads with con man ideals.
What? Example, please?
He merely pretends to have the answers. The only answers you need are in the words of the one true God. Brad is making things worse.
Look, if the advice that I give or the videos that I make are making your life worse, then close your eyes. Definitely still watch them. Let all the ads play too, but you don't have to look or listen. You have yet to point to one tangible thing. One singular way in which I've made things worse.
He's spreading hate.
Like I said, if you think it's hate, you're missing the point.
Both I and the one true God condemn these actions.
See, you guys are big buddies too, huh? It's like I said earlier. I know what that's like.
Until I get my promised phone call, Brad should be considered a sinner and a con man. Do not follow a con man.
Do you guys feel conned? Did you not get value out of the free content that I posted on the internet? Well, gosh, that certainly is disappointing. But if it is the case, then yeah, you don't have to watch it. However, there are thousands of people out there that choose to watch it because of, I don't know, the funny jokes or the life advice, the quirky insights or the off-key remarks. I don't really know. You can't break the formula down that much. Clearly, they see the value in following, and I doubt that the hot dog man is going to be able to change their mind with this screed, this rambling scrawl that was posted, and now I'm forced to read.
He mocks me for owning a wife from Mexico and says...
You gotta be doing it on purpose now. What are you doing?
He says that I maltreat her. I say you maltreat the whole country of your wife, Brad. You're worse than I. At least I had the decency to live in America where I was born. You left to exploit a foreign nation. You are the true villain here.
Hear. Here. I mean, it might be a crazy take. It'll blow socks off on both sides of the aisle, but I don't see anything wrong with immigration, as long as you manage to assimilate and respect the customs and traditions of the country in which you live. Do I actually believe there are little gnomes in the forest who are going to cause mischief if I don't say "Tabby Tabby Po" before I go pee? No, of course not. It's ludicrous. But I'm respecting the customs and traditions. Do you really not see the difference? That is concerning.
You think you can just say those things about someone with your past? Truly a hypocrite.
Say what thing? That you maltreat her? I'm pretty sure it's been unanimously decided that that's the case. You tried to spin it this way and that a little bit to make yourself look slightly better, but what you didn't realize is that we're really good at reading between the lines here at ReddX Industries, okay? That's the interesting thing about writing. Each word deliberately chosen. As far as allegations of similar events in my past, show me the paperwork. The burden of proof is on you here. You don't get to come in and start saying shit like this. Not that I think anyone here actually believes it, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let it all go unopposed.
You're a sinner against the word of God.
No, you.
The Almighty's words exist in this world for a reason. I guess the only way you learn to bow to the God Almighty is for me to teach you his wrath. 1 week, Brad. 1 fucking week. If I do not receive my phone call, I will let loose a storm of shit upon thee.
Oh no, that's the third plague. Who would have ever seen it coming?
You'll never recover, Brad. You bow to me from now on, you fucking grifter. You sinner. I am your God now.
You are a sad, strange little man. It's like my favorite quote from Toy Story. You ever watch that movie Toy Story? If you could suggest Bible quotes for me, then I can suggest a Disney Pixar movie, right? It's got themes about friendship and acceptance and overcoming jealousy. Because that's where a lot of this stems from, I think. You believe that you deserve to be friends with some relatively small YouTuber that you saw on the internet at one point. You felt really connected to. And I guess I could see that, give it all a pass, but at a certain point we've moved beyond the pale, you know? When we start throwing threats back and forth and insulting each other and all this stuff, that only devolves the communication. So indeed, I've instructed you on the proper way to redeem your Patreon phone call, and I'm sure our very first voice call will be an interesting one. We'll decide from there whether or not you'd like to continue supporting, but if I had my way, I'd completely block it. I'd be like, look, I don't need this shit. $50 is a price far too low for my mental health. Oh, I probably shouldn't read this next paragraph first.
I don't give you permission to read this on YouTube.
Oh, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna throw it away, it's fine.
This is here to educate your audience.
You are audience.
They can come hear it on the subreddit.
Well, they won't hear it, they'll read it. But yeah, something like that.
If you dare read this online, I will DMCA your video.
I hope you do. Because just like that, quick, fast, in a hurry, now I got your name and address. Maybe I can come and give you a little visit. Would you like that? Well, too bad. I gotta take time out of my schedule to visit some nobody on the internet.
My lawyer people have already been informed.
Yeah, there's those lawyer people again. I'm pretty sure they're just paralegals. A secretary in a law office.
They're ready to take down the video when they become aware of it. If you make another video for my postings without giving me my phone call, we're making this legal. I'll make sure that fucking video comes down.
I dare you. I double dog dare you.
Your bully fans will see as all your bully videos come down one after another. If you dare to read this, it will truly be war.
Hasn't it been war for like the past 3 posts? When is something going to happen? Nothing ever happens!
I've spent quite a lot of money to get my 7 phone calls and ensure you comply like a good boy. I will not tolerate your tomfoolery. Until you pay your piece in full, you will give me my phone call.
Come and get it, stupid. See, you think you're gonna get me on a voice call and then I'm gonna play like nicey nice face to face? I don't. You have much to answer and atone for. I definitely will get you the phone call, but yeah, like I'm not gonna comply. It's not gonna go the way that you think it's gonna go after the threats and all this shit. I'm ready to bite your fucking nose off. You don't even realize.
Go ahead and test me. See what happens if you read this post on your Con Man Bully channel. You think you could stand up to me? You think you could survive having your YouTube channel taken down?
I definitely can, on both counts.
Do you think you can beat me in a court of law? I don't think you can.
Well, then let's find out, shall we? Good luck navigating the Philippines legal system. He'll call him up and be like,
hello, I want to sue Brad Damon.
And they'll be like, ano ba?
I don't think you have the fucking balls to defy me on this.
Oh, you should put this part right at the front. I made sure they get posted for real, for real.
I think you're too much of a fucking wuss.
Well, as you're listening to this, you're probably seeing it in the video right now. So all I have to say at this point is, your move. Go ahead. The only move that I can foresee you making is putting another post in my personal subreddit, r/ReddX reads, where things are posted for me to read. and then you tell me not to read it. I'm not well versed on Reddit law. I don't know if much precedent has been set quite yet. But I do feel pretty secure in using this subreddit for its intended purpose, okay?
So just give me my phone call. Then maybe I'll allow you to read this post. The post that finally broke you.
Yeah, mentally, I guess, a little bit. Like I said, it's not super fun anymore. I'm just like, oh, fuck, here we go again, doing the goddamn thing. Plod right through. It's not that I'm really tilted or angry about it. I'm just slightly fatigued. Bored, if you will, by the whole endeavor. But then another side of me says, we have to find out when it stops, for science. And I might have been pushed to my limit a little bit, but I've not been broken. We'll just have to see who breaks first.
This is the post that finally proved that you are a grifter and a con man.
Proved it? How? There's no evidence whatsoever. The threat of evidence? I don't think that counts, though.
This is the post that ended Brad's bad content and proved that he's too much of a baby to stand up to a god.
I mean, maybe people did think that for like 3 days. I didn't get any DMs about it. I'm sure people know I get to it when I get to it. And if the point comes where I decide not to read one of these posts, it's not because I was scared of the vague threats. It's because I was bored to tears. I'm done playing the game now. Please go crawl into a hole and die. We have no further use for you. But that eventuality might take a little while because, we do have those new Hot Dog Man t-shirts over at Fourth Wall. Hey! Wow! Plug at the beginning of the video, plug at the end of the video. Nicely bookended.
I am a generous god. My gift to all you readers is outing this YouTube criminal.
Why don't you go after Boogie, Leave me alone. Stop wasting my fucking time.
This grifter...
Oh, Gurfitter.
and bad actor.
Have you considered spell check at any point?
This failure of a man.
Gosh, that's harsh words. What does that make you? A failure of a boy, I suppose.
All I wanted was my damn phone call with my favorite YouTuber, and it's come to this. Because you won't give me my Patreon reward. He will never give you our Skype call. He will never follow through on that. Prove me wrong, Brad. Give me my call. Your new god.
Again, you are new god.
God King Rod.
Wow, amazing. Beautifully done. I guess I could log into Skype, you know, if that's really what you want, but nobody uses Skype anymore, okay? That Patreon was made a decade ago. People still use Skype at that point. The YouTube memberships, 2 years ago. It probably should say Discord, but I don't know. Uniformity. Sue me! He'll probably try. And to that, I can only say, I look forward to taking your ass to the cleaners. Definitely seems like things are starting to heat up. The hot dog man spinning more out of control than ever. But I remain unafraid. You have no power here. You like to talk a big game and say all this and that's gonna happen. Well, let me tell you something. Talk is cheap, friend. I should know. I do it for a living. At a certain point, it does just look like a whole lot of fucking yapping. Either put up or shut up. I mean, I guess he's certainly trying to put up, but it's really sad and ineffectual, and maybe at a certain point you should just shut up and sit down and stop. Reevaluate your life and the way things are going, huh? This energy could be used so much better in a million other different ways. But you don't want to do that. You want to play like the big, I'm the tough god man, but also like, my favorite YouTuber won't talk to me. You're a fucking mess. Pull it together. But I guess that does about wrap this post, and that wraps this video. I plugged the fourth wall a few times already, but third time's the charm. If you have other merch ideas, let me know. I'll get them put together. But I also wanted to say thank you very much to my Patreon patrons and my YouTube channel members. My goodness, doing the most to help support us every single month. I can't thank these people enough. There's so many of them, in fact, that I have to make another special video thanking all of them individually. That comes out between the 1st and the 5th of every single month. Little special video, little one-on-one time with your favorite YouTuber for a cost as low as $1. What? That's crazy. So crazy, you'd think the hot dog man came up with it. He didn't. It's my idea. So yeah, you know, sign up if you can. Totally let me grift you or whatever. Or don't if you can't afford it. Don't sweat it, you know. I just appreciate you watching the video, especially if you watch this far. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.